critters will want to find a warmer spot indoors.
And you probably don't want that spot to be inside your home or inside your business.
No.
At the same time, Public Health Madison and Dane County is seeing a rise in the number of rodents in our area. It's the squirm story of the day so far. Here to tell us how to keep them out is Public Health Supervisor John Hausbeck. Good to see you again.
Good morning.
So as you told us, the great news is that the mosquito season's over.
Yeah, it's
All right,
already done.
Yeah, that John made us laugh this morning by telling us. But in all seriousness, I mean, this is a concern even though we don't live really in the traditional big city.
Right. I mean, rats are in every urban environment. They just find all sorts of food sources, places to live. They're in and amongst us. They have been for a long time. It's just that at times their population is going to spike. This year we had a lot of complaints coming in. People seeing rats and whatnot, and it's really about the food sources that are out there and the places to live. So if we can control those things, we can control the population.
So when you say food sources, I know it was showing a video right now. It'll be posted on your guys' website as well a little later. But when we talk about food sources, what are we talking about?
We're talking about pretty much anything. I mean, rats eat everything. So what you put out in your garbage, what you put in your compost, what you put out for, either birds to feed or if you're feeding other wildlife, you really need to be careful with those things. I advise people don't feed wildlife. I mean, because you're going to be bringing in rats as well as raccoons and all sorts of other things that you really don't want to get so close and chummy with.
Yeah.
So I was sharing with you earlier. My wife had me go get some steel wool to fill in some foundations and but the idea that it only takes a little bit of a crack, and you were showing me with the quarter. I mean, use this analogy. What's the analogy you want to share here?
So all you need is a gap the size of a quarter for a rat or a mouse to get in. And granted, it's not going to be the big honking rat, the big adult. It's going to be the young rat that has just lived out its first life, and it's finding a new place because it's dispersing from the family, right? Yeah. And so that's what you don't want to come and find your home and find your food stores and all that other kind of stuff in your house. So you got to get those gaps filled up, a bit of steel wool and some caulk, and that should do the trick for the small gaps. You start getting bigger gaps or things, you might want to think about getting a professional to come in and really kind of do a full job of sealing up, especially these old homes that we love and cherish.
Because we're talking about, too, it's not just the squeam factor here and having a mouse in your home. I mean, there's some serious implications, some disease issues and things like that.
Rats carry several different diseases. One of probably the most common ones is salmonella that they'll transfer around and give to people. They also carry ticks and fleas that can carry other diseases. So you really don't want them in your house. When they do move into your house, they're also going to take over. They're going to, they breed really quickly. They can have up to 6 litters a year, and each litter has 10 to 15 pups. So you can have a problem really escalate very quickly. So prevention is really the key.
Get that steel wool and that caulk ready to go.
Yeah, and a mouse trap.
And mouse traps too. I mean, it's for people who feel like this isn't being, can you worry about being cruel in this case?
I don't worry about being cruel when animals are starting to take over my house. I mean, it's about that. When it comes to getting rodents out of your house, you really need to take matters into your own hands. And frankly, the snap trap is probably the most humane way to get rid of the rodents. I mean, it's done in an instant. They get a little treat right before the end. And, it's all over but throwing away the carcass. If you try to do live traps or poisons, that gets a little bit more messy.
Right. John, thanks. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.